Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We've got the Trent and Zyori podcast.
Right.
It's number 177. Yeah, I had my overlays a little messed up. I realized there was like an emergency the other night. Trent's supposed to have a little name tag too. I don't know why that disappeared, but maybe it'll show up soon. Anyway, I had to format and I forgot about it. Trent, I don't even think I ever told you this story, but I had like an emergency computer crash one night during the Dota Pit coverage, and one of my hard drives got all screwed up, and I couldn't. It's complicated to explain what happened, but I made a mistake and I couldn't undo it. So I had to quickly format. I had to reinstall everything. And luckily, most stuff is in the cloud. But I realized today that I had never really set up the Trent and Zyori overlays in my new Streamlabs OBS. What I was doing was just going back and forth and using the old one for the podcast, and I would switch to Streamlabs when I was doing my personal stream. And yeah, so it was, a classic Moonduck sprint 10 minutes before going live to get everything set up. It feels good.
That's how we do.
It's exactly how we do.
Why does your camera look like fucking 10 out of 10? What's going on here?
My camera or your camera?
Yeah, dude. No, your quality. Your quality's like out of this world. You got like nice frames. And you know what? It's probably because I'm just used to looking at you on vMix. That's why.
That is actually what it is. And most people don't know what we're talking about. I had that same revelation that you did at one point during the season where you said, man, Dota is just so beautiful. And I think Theven was like, what are you talking about? Of course it's beautiful. You're like, yeah, but like, I'm talking vMix sucks. I'm just like looking at Dota on my computer, and it's like we watched most of the DPC season on like what is it? It's like it's not even 720. It's like a 480.
Yeah, it's like 480-ish probably. Maybe somewhere in between. I don't know.
Well,
somehow.
The frames aren't smooth either. It's like it's not even like a low frame rate. It's like a choppy frame rate. It's designed to just be like an online preview, not like a full-blown. It does work. I mean, I can watch the games. It's fine. But if you spend 10 hours watching games in that quality and then you just play one game on like 1080p or 1440p with over 100 frames, maybe 160 hertz monitor or something, you're like, oh yeah, this is what the game's supposed to look like. Yeah, that's been me. That's been me the last couple days. But how are you, bud? I feel like we haven't podcasted in fucking forever. What have you been doing?
I know.
How's life? Nice hat.
Thank you. Yeah, dude, I'm so tired. I literally sat down, put these on, didn't even realize I was still wearing a hat. That's the point I'm at in life. Life's good. Busy. Very, very busy. I basically just look after my kids all day because when we were doing DPC, somewhere around like the 3-week mark or the 4-week mark, I think. No, I think it was the 3rd week. There was a big COVID spike where I live, and so daycare shut down. So like you were allowed, if you were like working and stuff, you were allowed to keep your kids in, but they were really, really asking anyone who could possibly do it to please take their kids out, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So
you guys did.
So we took the kids home. Plus, I'd rather have my kids at home when there's a big COVID spike going around. So we brought the kids home, and then whenever I wasn't working, I was looking after the kids. And when I was working, we were able to get my wife's parents to help out and look after the kids. We managed to get the schedule working so that it worked out. It was great. But my life just became DPC and looking after kids, and that is very tiring. And so by the end of the day, you're so tired, it's like I can't even play Dota when that tired, dude. Like I just know I'm not gonna have fun.
Oh yeah,
if I'm that tired playing Dota.
You just feel bad, and then like you get it like starts that nasty cycle. You get frustrated. That kind of makes you a little more on edge dealing with your teammates. They're more frustrated because they can see you're not playing well, and you can see you're not playing well, and you just want to play well. So yeah, it's a good call to just like play Smash or do something else. Or
So I've just been like
go outside.
At least the playoffs started, but so that was like a brutal 3-week grind. Like, plus I work every day with the DPC.
Well, and you were doing NA, dude. I was feeling it by the end. I'm only doing SA. How the fuck did you do NA and SA and dad time? Like, I don't understand
the power of this. That's what gets me through it. The power of the cash money fuels me.
Wow. Was the NA pay solid? Was it comparable to what we got paid for SA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It was good. Times were good.
Okay.
I get good in the McKenzie household.
I get it a little bit, but now that's a hell of a. I don't know if I could have done it though, man. That
it was very tiring, and it took a lot of effort from everyone, but it's good. So that's fun. Now we chill and obviously enjoy the major. And you know what, man? 2 seasons of SA and NA. Oh, that was good Dota. And you know what? SA overall had the higher level of Dota, which really surprised me.
It's true. I mean,
it wasn't even close.
You saw it in the lower division, especially. I think a lot of the other regions. Well, yeah, a lot of other regions, though, the lower division had this expected, like, nobody has expectations for the 10th to 16th team, really, in any given region. and understandably so. But I think South America, especially in Season 2, Season 1 was a little disappointing. It was 0-900 dominating only to get DQ'd. So the standings didn't feel super meaningful. But then Season 2, we swung hard the other way, and it was so even towards the end that, yeah, we saw the better teams kind of float towards the top, but it was highly competitive all the way through. And there were probably some moments where if you go back and looked at a critical lens, it's like, this wasn't competitive. These guys are both just terrible, and that's led to a really weird game state, which is now entertaining. But is this really competitive, or is it really entertaining? I don't know. Mostly competitive, but I think we had a couple Clown Town series for sure.
Yeah, we definitely did. It was just good Dota. I don't know. It was strange to be so removed from the European scene for like both seasons essentially. Like I caught some games and stuff, but like
I watched a cumulative 2 hours in 2 seasons.
Yeah, like seriously, that's probably about where I was. I probably watched like, usually I'd watch like basically every single game of Europe, and between these 2 seasons, I probably saw like 6 or 7 series total, maybe, with like a real like critical like I'm watching this to learn lens. Because I usually work Europe because it works during the daytime where I live, so it's kind of perfect. So it was weird. I feel very disconnected from Europe, and then suddenly inundated with all this ridiculous amounts of knowledge about SA and even more so into NA, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for this major and beyond for South America, and I feel like people hear me say that, like, oh, of course you'd say that. You've been covering it. You're always excited about what you're covering. I see your pattern. But based on what we saw at the last major, is it like, did you see what We Play tweeted? I think it was this morning or maybe late yesterday, their percentage breakdown of like, it was like a Knoxville style chance to win.
Oh, was it the Glicko thing that some guy put on Reddit?
I think so. It looked like
probably.
a Glicko sounds like the right word.
Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah, that's it.
If you can pull it up, link me real fast. I looked at it earlier and didn't bookmark it. But
I'll put it in chat.
It is very Chinese bias, right? Is that what I remember from the takeaway? So according to this breakdown, chance to win the finals, take first place, gives LGD 37% chance, Vici 18% chance, Aster 16% chance, VP 9, Quincy 9, then EG 3, Alliance 3, IG 2, and then most other teams, it's 1 or 0. Notables in the 0, No Ping, TNC, Nigma, Beast Coast, is that Gambit, GMB, and then Execration. Who's ASM GMB?
Sorry, I wasn't looking. Oh, it's what is it, Monaco, AS Monaco Gambit or whatever?
Yeah, okay, so it is Gambit. Yeah, I was right. All right. So yeah, that's I don't know if this math makes sense or if this is accurate, but it's like crazy Chinese favored. I don't know. It's like I looked at that and went, yeah, I don't know, man. I think South America might do better than that.
Yeah, we'll see though. That's a good question.
It does peg No Ping at 48% chance to make top 8, and Beast Coast only 12% chance to make top 8. So I that's interesting as well.
Wow, I love how it's 0% for Nigma to win. I just saw someone Nigma. Lol, that's crazy.
Yeah, 1% to make top 4, 0% to even make the finals. This thing really does not believe.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Team
just
Nigma.
Let go simulation. I think the interesting part of that too was the wild card, because it has an 81% that Vici will make it through, 49% for IG, and then Secret. It's like literally 17% for Enigma, 7% for Gambit, and 1% for Execration to make it a wild card, which frankly isn't that outlandish. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean, this wild card is fucking crazy. I mean, I guess we can just dive right into talking about the major. I mean,
Major.
Can we start with another lap?
How dumb is this setup?
Another lap of how fucking stupid wild card is. We were talking about it in the Discord, and somebody asked me, like, oh, so what would you do? And I said, well, that's like a twofold question. If you're asking me all together, I think you just ditch the wild card. I think you build it into some other online, like more like redemption kind of tournament for the last slot or something. You don't need to fly teams to LAN just to lose immediately. Then either send them home or have them sit there and watch all their friends kick ass at this tournament. I think that fundamentally sucks. So I would just get rid of that. And if you want to add extra stuff, make another wave of qualifiers. Now, if we're set on having this thing, at the very least, I think it is time to just spread the love, right? We got 6 spots. We got 6 regions. I got 5 fingers. I think we should go 1 a region, Trent. It just makes sense, right? I think it's time. I think I think Secret being in the wild card makes it feel like the wild card's working as intended with the current slots, but I feel like snubbing specific regions in the wild card is a really easy layup to give people cannon fodder to say, look, Valve doesn't even care about these regions. Valve doesn't believe in these regions.
Why do you draw the line there? That part makes no sense to me. Like, if you're just going to do this, you might as well just bring, like, literally the other two.
Yes.
Like,
so I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this general format, but I digress. It's going to be hype at this specific major, and I will concede that it's going to be cool. I look forward to watching the wild cards. I mean, seriously though.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It is fun to watch. They're just like, why do they exist?
I mean, do you agree with me? Is that a hot take that I just dropped there? That I think I don't like the wild card, and if we're set on having it, I don't like that it's not, quote, fairly spread across the regions. I get that China
I would agree with that
and Europe are good, but
I would rather just have a bigger group stage. Let them get knocked out in the group stage and figure it out that way.
Yeah.
Like, why do we bother with this?
Exactly. I think you could alter qualifiers somehow a little bit if you want to, but yeah, just extend the format to include these teams.
The wildcard teams could just play first and last during the group stage. They just get the shit schedule.
Sure. There you go. Sorry, Secret. You got to play first and last every day.
Can you imagine?
That'll level the playing field.
Oh, man, dude. I'd rather just get eliminated. I know.
So who are you actually pegging to make it out of the wild cards, right? It's 2 of the 6 teams go. Nigma, Secret,
yes.
Vici, Invictus Gaming, IG, Execration, and then Monaco Gambit.
Oh, man, dude. Aldi Phoenix was so good, but...
Is it Vici
so
Secret?
Just to be clear, I noticed the We Play tweet, guys. I took issue with this tweet. I thought about replying to it, but I just didn't feel like dealing with Twitter.
Oh, Trent. He didn't want to be the star of
they
Twitter.
Put Super will be standing in with a capital S, but I mean, even though they put his real name, which should delineate, but obviously I don't know the real name of all the Chinese players or the North American players or any of the region players. I just know their tag. And they put Big S Super. It's a little S Super, guys. Big S Super is the coach for... Wait, no, I know this. He's on Elephant now. He was a coach, but now he just got transferred to Elephant to play again, by the way. Big S Super Dragon Knight Viper player is going to be playing position 5 for the China Super team. They kicked their one new guy, by the way.
As long as they got his name right, I think we're okay.
I know. Did you? It's supposed to be little S. Guys.
Well, you're right.
Little S
right.
Super. Come on.
It's hard.
I guarantee people will be confused. Guarantee.
Probably. I mean,
anyway.
that's one of those. There's been so many name changes in China. I don't know why one of them doesn't just opt for the name change.
That's
you know
a fair point. One of them should take like paparazzi.
If maybe can become Somnus. Like I feel like the options are limitless. So yeah, fair enough. Fair criticism. But who are you pegging here, bud? Are you going to give some hot take predictions?
No. Is it a hot take to just say Vici IG?
I was going to say Vici Secret. That was my layup answer.
I don't know.
You think IG will beat Secret?
Guarantee?
I don't know if it's a guarantee. So all right, it sounds like we both agree Vici is a guarantee.
I would think so.
As far as it
goes.
goes.
To be fair, I haven't watched that much China, but the stuff I do watch and what I do know of Vici's, I just think they're super solid. I love all of their players.
Yes.
So DY, man, if I could get a jersey of a Dota player, it might be DY. That guy just cracks me up. What a zero to hero story.
So if I had to peg the wild card in order, I would say number 1 Vici, number 2 Secret. I think it's tight for 3 of Nigma IG because Nigma is one of those teams that does turn up on LAN. And I think factor that in. I put Nigma 3, I put Invictus 4, and then Monaco Execration. I really don't know. 5th/6th between those two. I haven't watched either of them.
Hey, are you aware of what happened with Gambit, by the way? Have you heard this whole tale?
I don't think so. Do tell, buddy.
Are you on Wikipedia right now?
I am,
If you highlight, you'll notice that there's currently Lornov and BZZ on Gambit, whereas they did have No One and Seneko. No One and Seneko left the team after they qualified. I'll have to bring up the specific article. So this was what they released a statement on the official Gambit Twitter that said, they'll be replacing them. It is hard for us to believe in what is happening right now, but this is the reality of Dota 2 CIS scene in 2021. Seneko wanted to leave the team after the unsuccessful start of the DBC Season 2, but the organization managed to convince players to switch roles and finish the season together, which allowed us to qualify for the Major. In spite of that, Akbar and Vladimir refused to go to Kiev and expressed their desire to leave Gambit. Given the situation, we see no reason to hold the players whose contracts expire at the end of DPC Season 2. We kindly ask our fans to express as much support as you can to our team at the upcoming major. So apparently, and I believe this was something tweeted up by Soneko, but I'm just going to paraphrase because I haven't read it in a couple days. But essentially, he wanted to leave after they were like 0-3 or something, and he thought the team was just bad. But they played out the season anyway because you kind of have to. And now Soneko and no one are joining Na'Vi.
Wow. Well, I'm glad they played it out.
And no one, yeah.
Because it's one of those, like, it is really bad form to just give up. And I think that's pretty shitty, you know?
Yeah, it's still lame to send your team to the major without, I don't know. I guess they just see it as a waste of time, which is fair enough, I suppose. I guess they did their time. They played their season or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's like a middle step. It could be shittier, but it is still kind of shitty. Is that fair? That's so.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, what a shit
that's
sandwich.
Weird. I would take Vici 1, IG 2, Secret 3, Enigma 4, Monaco 5, and Execration 6.
All right, so you're on the China hype train. I haven't watched too much. IG's really that good, huh? Okay.
I think so. I mean, they won the last major.
Yeah.
And as good as Ollie was, Super is their coach, and he's a traditional. At least he's a traditional support player. Yeah. So I believe he can handle it.
Maybe my Western bias is showing. I don't know. I have this weird kind of like secret Enigma or LAN teams, but at the same time, they've both looked.
China, China just always plays on LAN, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fair. I don't know. All right, let's go group stage, bud. Let's just keep on going. Let's do our little informal predictions here. We got Liquid, LGD, TNC, Team Spirit, EG, and Beast Coast right in the group stage. Obviously, 2 teams from wildcard will be joining that list of 6. And how many teams come out of the group stage to move forward? 6. Okay, so that's kind of a lot. Only the bottom 2 of the group stage get eliminated.
Yeah, and then they put the top 2 in the upper bracket, and they do that draw thing again, like last time.
Okay, so it is an 8-team round robin. Yeah, I do. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe a way to frame this is like, which 2 teams of the 8 do we think will be eliminated from the group stage?
I don't think it'll be the wildcard teams. I think it'll be Spirit
I agree, actually.
+1. Honestly, I think it'll probably Spirit and TNC. If maybe Liquid. I would probably have a hard choice between Liquid or TNC.
I'm going to go Spirit.
I haven't watched very much South.
Spirit, TNC. I do think Beast Coast should be okay. I think EG should be okay. Liquid will probably have some really tense, stressful games, but I think they'll make it. And yeah, the Chinese teams that come up and LGD I think should be just fine. Sorry, Spirit.
Liquid's the only team I could see win this group or come dead last. I don't see that with any other team. I know OG or EG would never come last. Maybe Beast Coast, but I also don't think they'd win it. But I could completely see Liquid top or bottom. I really have no idea with these guys. And that was even before they added Sumail. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Archie, they're not getting a point penalty for TI. FYI.
Thoughts about top 2 in the groups? I think LGD is probably a safe bet there, sort of a front runner. I mean, you could say LGD Vici. That might be your most likely top 2, and that's super safe. Also a super boring answer.
For top 2 of the group?
Yes.
EG and probably LGD, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Boring.
So you'll go EG over Vici?
Yes, 100%.
100%. Okay.
Dude, EG's insane. They're very, very good. I think they might be better than Quincy. In fact, I think they probably are better than Quincy Crew.
Whoa.
Quincy Crew just got tossed buyback for the win. Not even kidding. I mean, that literally saved that game. They lost. They lost that game.
All right. Real quick aside on that. So I feel like that has always been a bug. I know you can sort of argue about like bug versus like game mechanics stuff kind of forever, but like specifically the puck buyback jaunt and the Weaver buyback time lapse, I would argue are both game mechanics. Fundamentally, they are not bugs. It is not a bug to
Correct.
be able to buy back and jaunt to the orb.
Yeah, I have no idea why people bring up the orb. That's a completely different situation.
Yeah.
That's not the same at all.
Yeah, you're using it has to happen quickly, but fundamentally you're choosing to do it, right? So this buyback tiny thing is like, in that situation, he was not trying to do that. As everyone knows, evidenced by the immediate TP, he bought back and tried to TP into the fight and then realized, wait, what the fuck? I'm in the fight. Holy shit. So like that right there, that's why that's a bug. It's so hard to do that in like we're setting this up, we're gonna replicate it, we're gonna abuse this to win the game.
Luck if it happens.
Exactly, and then it has the chance to break games. And I always hated that, like the fundamental argument of, well, because Valve never patched it, it's definitely a game mechanic and not a bug. It's like, no, just don't catch
the term
every bug.
Feature fits perfectly. I don't necessarily know if I'd call it a bug, and I don't think I'd call it a game mechanic. I think feature to me has always been, it exists in Dota as it is. It's kind of like this whole discussion about online gambling existing. It's like, well, there's no law against it in Texas. So what does that mean? That's kind of what toss buyback was. It's like there's no law against it.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a feature.
Yeah.
Archie, that's the stupidest argument, dude. It's clearly you die in the air and you respawn the fountain when your body hits the ground. That's buddy, just don't. I know what you're trying to say. It's like it technically isn't a bug. What are you talking about, dude? It's like, well, you respawned where your body was, and when you were able to buy back, your body was there, so that's where you went. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Be smarter. You know what? Come on, dude.
I don't know. And there's probably some other really good examples that were in the game for a while. And obviously, the Chen Pudge Fountain Hook is like the quintessential example. And that one is probably the best, like 50-50 on the line. Is it a bug or a mechanic? Because it's like the hook is moving and it's all like, you can sort of see how it works. It is game mechanics. It's a little bit buggy. It was just too strong, so they removed it. Valve removing it or not removing it isn't necessarily like this. It's just the final, this is too broken to be in the game, not necessarily.
This caused a major issue.
Yeah. You know, it's sort of like the fusion rune. That wasn't a bug. It was just designed to have a potential one-time crazy breakpoint that was so stupid it broke a game. Just so happened that game had a really, really like big weight attached to it. And Morphling was the one hero that could abuse that mechanic at what was it, 90 minutes, 75 minutes? Or
I don't even remember
some
anymore.
Stupid, I don't know. But hitting for like 1,500 and just destroying shit, just crippling buildings. So that's not a bug, but Valve removed it because it was too broken. So that was totally a feature, right? Fusion Rune was like that was game design.
Fusion Rune was a game.
That was
mechanic.
bad
Yeah,
game
that was
design.
Intentional.
That was exactly a mechanic.
This was just a holdover of like, oh, haha, this just happens and it's funny, and then it's like, oh, that was really bad. We should probably get rid of that now.
Definitely. I'm glad they got rid of it though. And I had forgotten about the Timber Saw one. I don't know if you had ever seen that in a game that you cast.
Oh, dude, that one happens a lot. That one, I'm not as sure about. I actually was kind of surprised they removed that one because I thought that one was more skill based. Personally,
it is, but
that one's.
I don't think it fits any conceptual like Puck's thing. Is always supposed to be a relocation tool. I don't think Timbersaw's thing is supposed to be a global relocation tool. That's pretty fucking busted. And it's Timbersaw 2. You just come right back in the middle of a fight. Like, oh, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, but it's really hard to do. I mean, sometimes it would be dumb luck, but other times you'd see people do it intentionally. Like, I can definitely remember Ice doing it intentionally.
You could definitely do it intentionally. Yeah.
So that one I was a little surprised by.
Okay.
All right. But I'm fine with it being gone either way.
Anyway, So you're right.
I actually think EG is probably a little bit better. If not, either way, they're both very, very close, which puts EG up at the top of these teams rather than, in this group stage mix to me.
A little more experience. Yeah, I hear you. So, dude, the playoff direct seeds, this is, I mean, if you could have bet on who's going to be directly seeded to the major like this is one of the craziest mix of teams. No Ping, Quincy Crew, Virtus Pro, T1, Aster, and Alliance. I think Virtus Pro, okay, sure, that was kind of a repeat from the last major, but all these others, Alliance, I guess that we should maybe mention the asterisk there. We haven't done a podcast since that big news dropped, buddy.
Sir? What?
You wanna give your hot takes here about Alliance and their sixth man? You want to talk about No Tail and his lovely tweets?
Jeez, I can't believe we haven't talked about all that.
I know, dude. You ready for it? We just did that whole aside on tiny buybacks here. This is like a whole level deeper. I don't know, man.
I'll give you, if I was tweeting on the day, my thoughts were, I do think Mitter Meepo took it a little bit too far. Seb still shouldn't DM him that kind of stuff. I'm surprised at how like offended everyone acts by what he said. I don't know why everyone's so mad. Like everyone acts like it's the worst thing ever. He said, "Did I F your girl or what?" Like to me, that's not very offensive. It's more like what did I do that made you so angry? And he's just putting it in a context. I don't know why that's taken as being so insanely offensive.
Yeah.
To me, that part was really weird. I don't get that. But yeah, he still shouldn't have done it. I don't think Mitter Meepo should have leaked the DMs because that's just never a good look. But at the same time, Seb is a very powerful person in the esports industry, so he shouldn't be DMing people in the first place. So it's his own fault for that. You can't expect privacy when you're essentially
it's also a social
sort
media
of
guy.
harassing a guy.
You know, like if you're talking to Alex Jones, you know he's looking to make content out of anything you say that's stupid. So you don't.
Exactly.
You wouldn't DM Alex Jones some emotional rant because you know he's just gonna leak it and do they're clear
AOC not they're debating Taylor Green, right?
Clear baits. It was sort of like the Andy Milonakis thing where I said some mean stuff. He tweets some really mean shit at me. I DM him an apology, and then he just blocks me and ignores me. It's like, okay, maybe I hurt his feelings, but that was also a little bit of a bait to see if I would flip out and maybe DM him something stupid. Then he would leak it. Like if you think a step ahead, you can kind of see those traps coming. And if you're talking to somebody whose life is based on posting meme content, you might want to, I don't know, think that they're not above posting that shit, right? Am I crazy? I agree with you that it's not a great look, but at the same time, it's not necessarily unexpected for somebody in that role. Is that?
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you definitely should not have DM'd him. I don't really, personally, maybe I just wouldn't have done it, but I don't necessarily blame him because I think it's way more on Seb's fault.
Yeah.
And he should have just contacted Secret. I mean, I get that he felt like they had a history, and so he thought well, why do you hate me now or something? But then that part is
dude, this is even a step after all the stuff with Alliance, right? So the TLDR on the whole Alliance situation, right? Apparently DreamHack decided to change the rules of allowing coaches to be in rooms, and they sent it out to the teams just as a byline and an email blast. Most of the teams didn't read it. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think I know.
I think it's pretty safe that they literally just took their CSGO rules. We're updating their CSGO rules, and we're like, oh, yeah, we should change this for Dota too. And they just changed it for Dota because there was so much cheating happening in Counter-Strike.
I think they also realized that on LAN, that is policeable. Remotely, it is very hard to police. Not impossible, but very hard. And with all these games, 16 teams, 2 regions, it's like, do we really give a fuck about this? If given the choice, no, we don't. So let's just do it. It's way easier for us if we can just let them do it and then we don't have to think about it. So let's just do that. No big deal. Win for everyone.
Yeah, I get why OG are so upset because it is an insane thing that that they were playing with that, and I'm a little surprised that Alliance played with it without more I mean, according to Alliance, they even clearly asked, are you serious? This is really the rule. So there you go. Fair enough.
That's the thing. I remember this coming up in the Discord and a lot of people saying well, if that's the rules, that's the rules. And it's yes. However, internally, within the players' circle and the tournament system, this topic has been brought up a lot. Over the last 3-4 years, it has been because it's happened in other games. Some teams have said they want coaches during live games. Other teams have been vehemently against it. It's been pitched to Valve in a lot of different ways. A lot of people have weighed in on it. And I think Valve has been very clear that they're not into it. They do not want coaches in live games. They don't want them in drafts. You can be there in between games, but they don't like the element of the sixth man, the shot caller that can just keep track of everything. And that's so that might not have been published. Maybe no player wrote a blog about that. But if you're a tier 1 player, if you're Loda, you know those conversations have taken place and you know that stance. So it should raise a serious red flag if you see that in the byline of an email. And it's just guys, this fundamentally changes Dota. I think that's worthy of putting spotlight on beforehand. I can't help but think there was some okay. And it's you're sort of, you're not hiding it, but you're also not publicizing it either. You're kind of trying to play both sides a little bit.
Here's what I'll say is that they apparently, according to them, they instantly contacted them and clarified that rule with ESL. And so they said, are you serious? That's the thing. And so when ESL told them that, they said, yes, that is the rule. ESL, I'm sure, probably said in the current global pandemic and online environment, we have no way of policing every single team accurately. So we're just removing the rule for online gameplay. And if you hear that,
isn't
as
that
Alliance,
worth a run up the ladder, though? See, I think that's where if you're Alliance,
that is the ladder, dude.
Well,
you know what I mean?
So that begs the question of like, what is the authority limit of these third-party DPC organizers? It should beg the question: does ESL have the authority to change a rule that fundamental?
I think if you're a team, you think they do. You probably think they cleared it with Valve. Let's be real. They probably thought like,
but. Aren't something all right? What if ESL said, "All right, guys, new rule: you can't kill Roche before 15 minutes. If you do that, you lose the match." Right? Just so you laugh because that sounds so like no way you wouldn't believe it.
I think that's harder to make a comparison because it's like something that's so like I'm trying to think of a better example.
All right,
like what if it was like macros?
Okay,
maybe that's a good example.
Sure. What, that they just allow macros now?
Same thing.
Yeah,
what if they put in the byline that macros were allowed?
Fair. That's a much better example. Way less egregious. That should ring some bells though, because that is fun. Like people have been banned for that. That should fundamentally ring alarm bells in your head and go, okay, ESL. I don't want to say you're full of shit, but like I need something from the frog that says this is true because this goes against everything we've seen in Dota before. And I think the sixth man is in that territory, dude. Like
but let's say
that's worthy of a
macro,
tweet,
right? But is it? I mean, if they got that notice and they message ESL and say, "Hey, ESL, so why is this happening?" And ESL give them a very reasonable explanation that they can't police on everyone, so it wouldn't be fair to the teams that are abiding by the real rules. Then you'd be like, "Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense."
So
do you think they'd instantly tweet about it and be like, "I can't believe ESL is allowing macros"?
Wouldn't it be kind of like to reference the whole Jericho thing, right? Dota Pit has banned Jericho from their events as a third-party tournament organizer, but Valve hasn't ruled on whether or not Jericho is lifetime banned from all Valve events as a match fixer like the other people that have been caught, right? Now Dota Pit has done it right. They said, hey, we're going to ban him from our stuff. We moved it up the ladder. Now it's on Valve to tell us what to do beyond that. What if Dota Pit had said, no, these guys are lifetime banned? Should we accept that, or should we go, all right, well, hold on. Can you actually say that? Do you have the power to lifetime ban someone? I need just a little verification to buy that. Again, there's no perfect one-to-one comparison, but I think the sixth man is fucking fundamental, man. I think it's so huge. Like, it's so huge.
Anything, like, let's say that the situation was reversed and it was the macro. I probably would have, if I had to think of the most egregious example, it would probably be the sixth man.
Yeah.
Like, what if ESL put out this rule? There's no way some team would play that. They'll go to Twitter and be like, this ruins the integrity of Dota.
Well, you got to remember, especially online, like you can just like write down timers. You can look up anything. You have access to all this data. You can look at heat
literally
maps,
like it be in the middle of the game and be like, yo, what does he build after BKB on this hero? And you could look at his Dota Pro tracker, like the stuff he does.
Data is insanely powerful when someone can access it in real time and just be in your ear like that while you're playing. It takes away a certain element of feel, and like the part of the difficulty of Dota is it's a game where your bandwidth is maxed out. You need to do more than you're able to do. That's what makes it so fucking hard. So if somebody can take away a big chunk of that stuff you need to do and just simplify it for you, it's a big game changer, man.
Crazy.
Big game. So to circle back, I understand why No Tail and Seb and OG were so upset. However, I think they handled it very poorly.
They directed their anger completely the wrong way.
Yes.
It is not on Alliance.
It is mostly on the TO. Like, really?
Yes. I wouldn't even blame the teams who missed this in the email because it's such an insane thing to be put in like a random email. Yes, you should read all your emails, but it was also put in a terrible spot, clearly.
Yes.
But it's their own fault in the end.
Yes, but still, and it's like
that, and mostly the TO's fault.
Well,
times 10.
And it's easy to say it's the TO's fault now because what happened? They reverted the rule back. So once it became public, everybody got to say their piece. Valve, I think, weighed in some back channels and said, "All right, guys, this is fucked. You get this the hell out of here." And they changed the rule for all the remaining matches of that DPC season. So, Yeah, I think fundamentally the OG guys were right. Like, dude, there's no way if you had tweeted about this before any of the games started, there's no way this would have ever like made it into the league. And I think that's true, but I think calling them cheaters is just like definitively not the right. Alliance did not cheat. Straight up. It was in the rules. Like they followed the rules.
No,
that was by
cheat.
definition not cheating. So like they are not cheaters. So they really fucked up there. And calling them pussies was like the stoop. That was the dumbest. Now Trent, listen. I have lost a Dota game, then doubled down and lost again, and then played again and doubled down again and lost again. And you're like, dude, I just lost like almost 200 MMR in 2.5 hours. How is this possible? All right. That was like the equivalent of what No Tail did there. That was some terrible. That was like a Twitter quadruple down in the wrong direction.
That was bad.
No Tail, I love you, man, but that was not the play. That was really rough to witness. I don't know why that was thought to be necessary. And then no like apology or retraction or like, all right. I think it's even still just out there. I guess you got to give the guy some credit for not deleting shit, but at the same time, it's like, man, I feel like there's a lot of easy layups here to just be like, sorry, guys, I lost my shit.
Yeah.
You can like...
possibly the most cryptic tweet. I don't even know what this was. I was surprised it stayed up as long as it did, and it's still there by Ebony. Did you catch that tweet that I just put in the chat?
Sentry Ward and then the iceberg.
True Sight was just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
Deep. She
That was May 20th. Wow. I did miss this tweet,
that was
actually.
the day of all that stuff. Thought that was very interesting.
Wow.
I have to admit, that did make me chuckle. Yeah.
Oof.
So, clearly she used some thoughts about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Per usual. I don't know. I felt bad piling on a little bit to poor Seb, but at the same time, I don't know. I thought about it before bed, and I woke up and still felt like, yeah, I don't know. The tone of this is just not cool, man. And I feel like this is just like a general power dynamic PSA that we don't talk about enough. It's cool to do favors for people, but like try to contextualize that around anything else. Like imagine if every time I hung out with Ma and he mentioned his job at work and I made like snide remarks about, well, like I did a lot to help get you that job. Or like, Ma, you really owe me for like all those times I helped you out at Moonduck. It's like that is
exactly.
That's really not cool. And like I would never do that. And I don't know why people try to channel that energy. It's like even if it's true, you got to resist the urge to engage that like hanging shit over people's heads. So I don't know. It hit a little bit, and then
it was just bad all over the place.
And then Cap replied to my tweet, and then Seb replied to Cap's tweet, and we all just like went hands off. Like, all right, I don't want to fucking touch this anymore. But like, goddamn, that was a really, Seb's like a really high profile person. Like high between OG and being a 2-time and all this stuff. Like, it's kind of insane. I see what you mean about being, what did you call it, the star of Twitter for a day? Or whatever.
Oh, dude, he was the star for like a week with the subreddit.
But like,
my God.
The flow of communication is just like, I mean, I don't even have notifications turned on my phone, but it's like, it's actually flowing faster than you can read it. And it's the full spectrum of people blindly praising Seb, people blindly hating Seb, bashing Cap, bashing me, praising Cap, praising me. I mean, it's truly the full spectrum of dialogue. And it's just, bah, 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 bah. And you're like, I can't read all of this. I don't think I even need to read all of this. It's mostly useless information, but that's like just the tip of the iceberg, I'm sure, of what Seb was experiencing, And I see why people get overwhelmed by that shit, because it very quickly gets overwhelming if you're a person of whatever. If you're notable like Seb, if people really give a shit about what you're doing and are invested in your career, Jesus Christ, man, everyone's got an opinion and they're not afraid to share it.
It is crazy to think about like the negative, because like so much of social media and news pieces now are crafted to incite negativity and that breeds interaction one way or another. Like people intentionally make mistakes in articles now to have you correct them, to interact with the piece. That's insane. That's messed up. That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like imagine, I'm going to make a completely wild scenario here. Let's just pretend that Seb climbed a burning building and grabbed a baby and dove headfirst out a window and saved it. Okay.
All right.
he would receive less interactions on Twitter from that than what he did. And what I'm trying to point out is that it's crazy how these people just like come out of the woodwork.
Yes.
To whenever something negative happens. It's crazy because everyone just wants to I don't know why. Why does everyone always want to talk about that kind of stuff so much more than positive things? You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like,
no,
why are we like that?
I think you're absolutely right. I don't know why humans are like that, but it is so.
But we are. Yeah, we're so like that.
And it's not even just a Dota thing, right? It's like prolific in like most cultures, just across. Like people love this like negative. Like think about the Jersey Shore. I have actually been rewatching the Jersey Shore on Hulu as like. Almost like in my head, I'm role playing like I'm writing I'm a college student and I'm doing some sort of analytical piece of how this content was so popular at the time. And when you watch it from an analytical lens like that, you kind of get it because it's a manufactured train wreck where they take like the dumbest people possible and put them in the dumbest scenario possible, and then take away their communication to the outside, and then give them a bunch of booze and alcohol, and they all just. Like get real mad at each other over nothing all the time and just consistently argue and fight and break stuff. And it's weirdly captivating because you see that it's a train wreck and you just want to see where the train wreck is going. Why does when there's a traffic jam that's caused by like a car broken down or an accident, like why does that happen? Why does everybody slow down? Because they can't resist the urge to look. It happens every fucking time. And then you're like flaming the people for doing it. And then guess what? When it's your turn to drive by, you fucking turn your head and you fucking look because you want to see. I remember that time you told me you saw a body in LA, and it's one of those like, yeah, why'd you look? It's like, because it's like, how many times you see a body on the side of the road? I kind of just, I want to see. I'm a human. I don't know what that is, dude. That's like the human spirit in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, I guess it's because like, if they win TI or something and you're like, please for the team, you like click the little heart or whatever. I guess there's no like, I don't like this button, so you have to say it. Think that's part of it? Is that intentional? I guess, it's intentional there's no dislike button, or else that would just be weird, I guess, on tweets specifically.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, like, maybe that also leads into it. I guess it's because, like, if something good happens, you can't, like, jump onto it in any way very easily, whereas if something bad happens, you can easily say, I would not have done that.
Yeah.
I don't approve of this.
Well, and I think there's some of it, like we have a generally less cynical expectation. You sort of expect things to work. So when they do, it's like, well, yeah, you didn't fuck it up. Good job, bud. Things are working. But when things don't work or they get fucked up really egregiously, everyone has this sense of like, it's cool to call people out and it's cool to feel like you played part in fixing something, even if you didn't. But yelling about it kind of creates that illusion a little bit on social media, I was part of the Reddit hive.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, anyway, sorry, Alliance.
Oh, yeah, dude. Someone got banned from match fixing too. I forgot about that.
Who did? Which one?
I know the two NA teams.
Oh, yeah. We can.
Geez, we haven't podcasted in so long.
Hop into that. Yeah. So, all right. Let's wrap up the playoffs talk though. We got sidetracked with the Alliance Aster T1 Virtus Pro Quincy Crew No Ping. What a wild mix. Thoughts about how No Ping and Quincy will do?
No Ping is, I have actually no idea. I mean, people are just going to look at their game, see that they play Medusa, ban Medusa, and then it all depends on how the TA goes and how early they have to pick up the TA.
How many games do you think they'll be able to get carried by either Dark Mago Tiny or HFN TA or HFN Nature's Prophet? Because like they start in the upper bracket.
Dude, I don't
so
even
like
know.
What if they win like 1 or 2 series, they can pretty quickly get a top 8 guaranteed. It's kind of wild, right? So they have enough cheese strats that I don't know. I'm like a little cautiously optimistic. I also don't, how is T1 as good as everyone's saying they are? I haven't watched any South America. I know 23 Savage was sorry, what did I say? South America.
You said SA. I know you meant C.
Southeast Asia. Sorry, the other SA. And for those that don't know, that's 23 Savage, Carl, Cuckoo, Zephyr, White Moon with Coach March. 23 Savage, of course. I think we first met him, 2-3 years ago at that BTS hub. Qualifiers for TI. The heartbreaker that it was, but he had a hell of a performance.
Morph Shaker, dude.
And he's He's on the rise now, man. That kid.
He's had a crazy couple of years between like he was supposed to go to VG and then COVID happened and then Erica stood in on VG and then Erica turned out to be really good. So 23 Savage didn't ever end up playing for VG.
He's 19 now. 23 Savage was born in 2002.
Jeez, that's actually crazy.
Top 3
Young
heroes,
gun,
Morphling, Jug, and Anti-Mage. This kid's a fucking killer.
Dude, this guy's born after 9/11. That's wild.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we're all dead.
Damn, dude. That's you're young. He's a youngin.
Will Virtus Pro bomb out again? Maybe that's a nice direct question you can answer
Dude,
for me.
I have no idea. I thought they were gonna win the last major. I thought they were like top 3.
Yeah, you weren't alone there. There were a lot of heartbroken CIS fans felt exactly the same. And I mean, so how about Alliance? Like, direct question: is Alliance going to bomb out? Are they just going to lose 2 best of 3? Because that's the curse of the playoff seeding. You come in, and if you're cold in your first series, you lose 1 series. Oh, that sucks. You get knocked down. You get matched up against a team that has your number where it's do or die. That's when teams start pulling out crazy shit. They step up. You get got in another series. I think you're only top 12 if you're seeded playoffs and then lose both series, right? You end like 12th or whatever that last, like 10th through 12th.
Yeah, that's interesting. They strike me as a team that would not benefit from being in uppers. I feel like they would do better with more games. I feel like group stage would really help
kind of
like
agree.
Alliance. Whereas I think No Ping, T1, and maybe even I guess Quincy did really well in the group stage last time, but I almost feel like they do well in the uppers. I feel like this is a good place for them where they're kind of ready. Whereas I think VP, Aster, and Alliance would actually only improve with even more game plan. Because, like, I don't know, maybe that's because I feel like they're just, like, really solid teams overall. I don't know. Or they just have to get into the groove. Is there something about these players that make me think that they would do better if they started in group stage? Which is a weird thought. Whereas Noping, I think, legitimately just want to cheese out some games with TA and Medusa.
Yeah. Dark Mago heroes. No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I actually 100%.
I think Alliance obviously very bottom. Clip it, send it to Loda. Dead last. They'll actually come last in the wild card even. So, no. I think Alliance probably the highest performing Europe team, especially if Secret doesn't make it out.
Yeah.
Of course, we all know Secret could just come straight up first from the wild card. You never know with this team.
Mm-hmm.
But with the secured slot by Alliance and the inconsistency of Liquid, I would guess Alliance to finish highest European team in this major. But I could, it depends on Liquid maybe cleaning it up. I probably have the least faith in Nigma. But again, I haven't watched that much Europe, so it's kind of hard for me to check.
Do you know anything about Aster? Chinese team straight in, Monet, White, XXS, Borax, Lanum, Coach Mad.
I watched them a lot previously, but not so much last season. So not a crazy amount.
Okay.
Oh wait, what's going on with? Oh, they actually have Borax this time. That's right, because he couldn't play in the first major. I forget why. He was just unable to attend the major. I guess it must have been something COVID related. There wasn't anything listed on his actual. Let me see if there was this.
I love that Lanum is still playing because he's an 89er, dude.
Yeah,
he's
I was
31.
actually. I was reading something pretty interesting about. I can't remember if this is a Reddit thread or whatever, but it really surprised me how accurate it was. Was this concept of like the old guard in China? Well, I don't know why. Oh wait, I forgot. Is Borax Bobica? Holy shit! Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Yes.
I actually forgot about that.
Borax is Baboka.
That gets me every time, dude. It's him and either
confirmed.
way. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Damn you. Damn you.
Yes. So exactly. We were complaining about the supers earlier. That's what I'm saying. We got these unneeded name changes. I think he saw that.
Oh god, I forgot that was actually Bobica.
I think he saw that meme video of all of us saying Baboka. And I was like, you know what?
Bobica.
Yeah. Damn Americans.
Dude, it gets me every time. Damn you, Bobica.
They
Okay,
used a lot of my
so yes,
clips
we
in
all
that
know why Bobica didn't get there. XD. So he made it this time. He did not get himself a lovely lady of the night, allegedly. But anyway, so this whole comment thing that I was reading was the old guard of China that are still around and playing support. There's like who's there? Like if you look through the top teams in China right now, like it's basically just Lon M. You think about like in Europe how we have like Puppy and Kuro and even like No Tail, I guess at this point, he's obviously been around like for a very long time as well. Whereas we have this new blood of like Insania, is like one of the most prominent examples, obviously with Liquid. They don't really have any of that old guard around at all, except for Lon M.
Oh,
And I guess now Super, but he's not a traditional support player. He's a
there's got
core
to be
turn
some.
support.
I guess a lot of them have like. How about Sylar? Isn't he older? He 93. He's 27.
Yeah, no, but like specifically in the support role.
Oh, specifically support. Okay, all right.
Yeah, FY as well. I'm mostly focusing on position 5, but yes, FY2 for sure. But like the list I was reading was just like heroes like obviously Faith or players like Faith. He just got banned. Fenrir doesn't play anymore. The long term partner of FY. It's just those rosters. They don't have the old kids anymore. A lot of them turned to coaching a few years ago because I remember their supports went coach earlier than ours, and a lot of ours never turned.
And a lot of these players that even in my head, I'm like, yeah, they've got to be old by now. Like Eurus Paparazzi, he's 24. So he was really young when I first started casting him. Now he's like, middle of the pack. He's certainly not part of that old guard that you're talking about, though. Like, I mean, how old is Burning? I think he was born in, 87, maybe?
I mean, yeah, we still have I guess the core players are around. I more specifically, again, just mean like supports. Because I think it's kind of interesting, like, how we still have a lot of those in Europe.
Burning's 88. He's 33. Wow.
Innocent's 22? What? No. Why is not 22? Could he be? TI6? No.
Well,
he would have been 17 when they won Wings.
He is 22.
When
August 8th, 1998 is his birthday. So he turned whatever right before TI.
Wait, what?
He's really young.
No, that can't be right. That's got to be wrong. That's got to be a wrong
Why?
age, right?
Why?
Faith Beyond's 22 as well. Isn't that like that sounds way too young to me.
No, wasn't that part of the whole thing with Wings and
I
like
don't
why
remember
they
them
were
being
so cool?
that young.
Because they're like these like Young Gun doesn't even begin to explain it. It's like that whole legacy is they were so good, so innovative, and so like wildly young and inexperienced. Wasn't that the whole thing that like they kind of formed their own team because they didn't have the chops to join big teams because they were all newish players?
Look at this photo. So you're telling me this guy is how old would he be in 2016? What year are we talking now?
So he's 22 in 2021.
So he would be only 18. I guess that guy could be 18.
Yeah, look at his acne, dude. What do you mean? What?
I don't know. Doesn't he? I don't know. Yeah,
what about him makes you say, what, you think he looks 30 or something? I think if you
like
told me he's 18.
20 at least. I would have guessed that they're at least like 25 or 26 now. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I had no idea they were that young.
Wings was wild, dog. Yeah.
Wow, that is weird. That is weird to think, dude.
It was like what, 4 or 5 Arteezes? Like, let's see, how about so Shadow's 24. Okay.
They must have all been around that same age then.
Well, Blink is older. Blink is 28.
Yes, Blink was the old man.
Yeah.
They called him the old... Oh, God, he was the old man. And he's younger than me.
Faith...
Oh, my God. I'm the old man.
Faith Beyond is 23. Ice
I'm the boomer.
Is 25.
Oh,
and then as we just discussed, Y is 22. So Y is on the younger side. But, yeah, dude. I mean, I remember seeing them in person. And, yeah, they definitely looked young in person. Like, Y is... He's small. He's got a bit of a, at least back then he had a bit of a petite figure.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they were at the Summit 5. I worked the Summit 5. I did the Russian production.
Oh, I remember.
Summit 5, baby. That was me. It was big. It was great.
I actually have a good video for you guys that I need to find now. So you guys can all just go back. I was feeling nostalgic the other day, so I went to go find myself some old Dota, and maybe I don't know if you want to throw this up for a second. If you have the technology, you probably don't right now.
I might be able to work it up. What do you got?
It's lovely. Greetings from Russia. Greetings to you. If you guys open up this little video here, the original Summit Opening with the pool outside and Ben and Gods. It just had me like,
This is
whoa.
Summit 1.
Summit 1.
All right.
Look at this.
Hang on. Let me hop into producer mode here.
Yeah, throw it up for the people. Oh man.
There's definitely some golden
There's a little bit of
content.
Zyori dreads in there, don't worry.
Oh,
There's
good.
some Mott, dude.
I'm almost there.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so let's full screen. All right, so yeah, let's get a little audio on this. So this is DK versus Vici. I think this is just an export of like the full intro to like the whole event, right?
Oh yeah. Just start off at the beginning and it goes right to the pool.
Welcome everyone to the Beyond the Summit house. We're here. The summit is live. We've got
Look at that. Look at this. These youngins.
Dude,
this
that's
is the basis of
Lysander,
We're
Casper,
excited to be
Ina,
bringing you guys the summit over the next
and Velat in the
days.
background.
Ben,
Oh
we're
my
excited.
God.
How excited are you for this pool, man?
Look at
Day
this.
1, gods will take off 1 article of clothing. Day 2, 2 articles, and so on and so forth.
I've got
So
4 articles of clothing on right now.
So
make sure you tune in.
the best part is that they have zero script, zero plan. Gods is
people are
literally
more excited about some
drinking
of the players we've got.
alcohol.
The boys like fanatic. I can't pull
original
the
hot
white
tub
figure off
meta.
like Canny can. That's
Ben was always ahead of the meta, guys.
I wanna-
That's what we know.
Canny status
So
of
like,
craziness.
let's jump ahead a little bit. What do we got here?
I think around 2 or 3 minutes, you're building computers. Oh, 1:30.
Oh,
You're doing
wow.
some construction.
Oh my God, there's me. Look at that.
And then Mott's running around putting computers together too, which is great.
Dude, this is really taking me back. There's some good time-lapse footage here.
Yeah.
Wow, look at young Mott.
Mott and Roland going to work. Roland's hair, dude.
Oh my God. Dude, that was the opening night. I had just brought Vici back from the airport in my car, and ROTK was in the front seat, and I couldn't understand what he was saying. He kept asking me questions. There's a no-tail. I remember Casper fell asleep at on the couch in the middle of the party.
Oh man.
Wow.
Look how far we've come, guys.
Summit.
The
How's it
original
going, Ben?
summit.
We had some time to dry off from the pool.
And then it's
Feeling
Gods
good?
and Ben.
Yes.
So
Volume's
like,
killing me, producers. Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
one thing about this
Hi,
intro
guys.
that made it so kind of
Surfing up
weird
here. It's early in the morning. Team.
is that we didn't really think about who was going to be on the opening show. Like we kind of booked out the plan for the day, but it's like to get all the matches in. This started at like 9 in the morning, and nobody wanted to wake up early to come cast. So we're like, yeah, but we all have to work the event. So who's going to cast? So Ben, he was supposed to be rooming with Casper. Casper snores really, really loud, and Merlini left after 2 hours, and then he ended up staying at the house and slept in his closet. So he was one of the only people at the house that early that we were able to wake up and say, all right, Ben, we need you. You got to be on the couch. You got to save the day and open the show. And then, of course, Gods was there. So it was just, a nice, cool, calm, and collected. Gods Merlini casual opener with no plan or no script. Oh, hey, guys, look at our empty house. This is really cool. We got a Red Bull fridge
We're
there.
gonna watch some Dota.
We got some Dota. We got a pool. This is awesome. And like, yeah, that was it. I think
Yeah.
Ben had been up way too late because, I don't know. I felt bad. I made the room assignments. I felt bad. I did not think.
My plan post major is to watch this on stream.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's
That's
to watch
good.
the Summit games. I think it'll be some good times leading into TI. Rewatch Summit, rewatch Captain's Draft.
Yep.
Be good. Be good stuff. Oh, Dakota says Real Funny Trip is the first episode of In the Studio.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
pretty sure, as I said in chat, I'm pretty sure I subbed to ask a question during that. I seem to recall that.
That sounds
a long
vaguely
time ago.
familiar. Dakota says that was the first episode was the first time he was mentioned on BTS. Wow. Yeah, that was.
dude.
I remember that. Oh God, it's terrible, dude. The lighting's
Auto guy.
awful. It's.
Did you
Yeah.
guys have that? Was that when you had the suite set or no? Not yet.
It
You were
was-
just on the couch or something.
No, it was a pre-suite set. It was like the first iteration of the big desk. It was like the big desk before the big desk. The one that we tried to
Yes.
have our friend custom build. It was not good. Well, it was okay, but it was not It was tough. It was too big for the spot. God damn, dude, my head's spinning with memories right now. That is probably a good lap. I think Jimmy was on the first episode, dude.
Probably.
And I think
He'd be a local, right?
Yes, and I think we set up a thing where we had a game show with him and Merlini, and then we did an interview segment with Fear because Jimmy and Fear had some beef, and there was something about Jimmy calling Fear old man and harassing him in pubs by doing an old man voice. It's all coming back to me. I'm trying to piece it together. Dakota's triggered me down memory lane here. Yeah, Trent, that might be worth a watch, buddy. In the studio, episode 1.
Yeah.
If you can find it on the YouTubes, fuck.
Oh, what? You want to bring that up?
No, no, we don't have to right this moment. I meant just in
yeah.
general. Just put it in your put it in the spank bank, bud. You know, if you're really scraping for content one day and you don't want to turn off the stream.
All right, that's what I'll do. I'll fire that on. I'll make sure to tweet everybody when it happens.
That's prime content right there. Dig that one out of the grave. Yeah, 100 TB. They were the sole sponsor, so I was in the studio by 100 TB. And fun fact, I think it's probably okay to say this now.
I think so.
They made more. They paid a decent amount for that show to happen, and as the sole sponsor, and they made all of that money back within like the second or third episode. Basically, some big BTS fan used the promo code to switch one of their businesses over to 100 TB, and it was like a giant, what do you call it? Enterprise level account that was like, I don't know. I think the deal in the first year was already worth more to 100 TB than what they paid us for the activation. So like we thought we were getting a really good deal and we charged them like a crazy amount of money, and like we had like a 20 episode contract or 15 episode contract, and they were already profitable by like episode 3.
Damn, they got your ass.
One of those, like, we thought we sniped it, and then we sniped it so hard that we kind of realized we undersold it. Dude, those were the days, man. But you're like, it's like cowboy shit. You're like, okay, we want to sponsor your show. What's it worth? And you're just like,
cowboy shit.
Well, yeah, but back then it's
Let's
literally
be honest.
just like, you want to sponsor our show, and then you have a little meeting, like
With money?
Everybody huddles. It's just like, what do you think? This number? Will that scare him? This one? Let's try this one.
Keyboards?
You send a number over, and they go, okay, we'll do it. And you're like, they didn't haggle. They didn't haggle? What does that mean? I don't know, but that was a lot of money. Okay, let's do it. We're excited. Yeah. And then halfway through, you realize, oh, fuck, we signed up for a lot of work. This is a lot of work. You know, esports, man. That's where it all starts. You don't know what you don't know, and the only way to learn that shit is just to fucking dive in and do it. That's just how it goes, man.
Yeah.
How far we've all come. That's oh, dude. All right, well, is there anything else in the Dota world? I feel like there probably was, but a lot of it not worth talking about. Do you want to throw in just like a hard prediction? Like, there's a lot of teams at the major. Yeah, do you want to do like a top 3 maybe or something just to spice it up a little bit?
All right.
Give me your dream and then give me your accurate. You're like, I'm betting the house. I'm trying to get as close as possible.
Accurate. I'd have to see some more of the other regions, but I'll do my best from what I know. EG, LGD, and the top one, maybe Aster. EG, LGD, Aster. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
And that's your 1, 2, 3, like EG1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's my 1, 2, 3.
You think EG's gonna do it?
Yep.
And then what's your dream? Like, what do you want to see?
Quincy first, No Ping second, Beast Coast third.
Wow. All right. I like where you're
dream.
dreaming. Yeah, dude. All right,
That's where I'm dreaming, dude.
You
Let's
dream
be real.
big. I have trouble dreaming that big. Sometimes I wonder if I really do dream in color, you know, man? All right. Actual winners. 1, I'm going to join the bandwagon and go LGD. I'm going to do it. You know, I wouldn't have put EG in top 3, but now I feel dumb because you've been talking about EG for the last hour so positively that I'm like second guessing myself here.
Hey, I don't know. I put them top 3 the first page. Everyone laughed at me, so yeah.
I know.
No one remembers that, do they? Huh?
All right, I'm gonna go LGD 1. I still think Secret 2, and I'm gonna go Aster 3. All right, so I think it's gonna be a China sandwich in the top 3, and somebody's gonna squeak in. I would put EG 4. If that counts for anything, but if we're just doing top 3, I'm not gonna go there. All right, so dream, All right, I would have dreamed big too, buddy. I want to see No Ping win because that would blow my mind. I am a little upset that nobody from No Ping would come on Sad PP and do a podcast with us. So if they win, I am going to peer pressure the fuck out of those guys to come on my podcast for an interview. They better. You better be high on that win. So I'm going No Ping 1. I want Quincy Crew 2. I want SA versus NA Grand Finals. And
Oh, that'd be so good.
if we're going pure wish list here, just all Dream World, I think my number 3 would be EG. I want to see EG make it that far and then get beat by Quincy Crew and No Ping in my Dream World. Sorry, EG.
That would put That would put NA and SA at like the top. That'd be so sick. It's like the only team that can contest them is EG.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that Dream
that'd be
World's
good.
never gonna happen. But fuck, that's an alternate timeline that is pretty wild to
Dude,
think
Europe's already crumbling. I have to admit, it was kind of funny.
about.
that
Europe's
they did
like
so
Bitcoin,
poorly.
dude. Just a couple of bad tweets and it's going right down the tubes. Boo,
If
crashing.
Europe bombed out of this one too, it would be really funny. Because honestly, as much as Seb deserves all the shit talking for everything he's done, I hate to break it to you, Europeans, you guys deserve it too. I'm sorry. You guys have literally acted like every other region is complete garbage and trash the whole year. You know when Seb and No Tail were tweeting all this shit about like the only thing that's made me laugh all year was NA Dota or whatever, and then Europe goes and loses the first major. Like you guys are happy to pile on No Tail and Seb now, but you're not gonna join in the fact that you got dumpstered first major. Like you got to take your lumps, guys. So I actually kind of hope they bomb it again, even though I know Europe's good. It makes it funny. So sorry,
I try not to I'm never cheering for people to lose. I'm always just cheering for someone else to win. But yeah, I think one of the more frustrating things during all the COVID lockdown when we didn't have international Dota was how so much of the dialogue in the English-speaking Dota community seemed to centralize around the top 6 European teams and then Viking GG. And it's just like everything else is like pretty much fuck all. And it's like, yeah, there's EG, yeah, there's Beast Coast. Outside of that, I don't give a shit. And I
was guilty of that too because what happened was that I talked to pros and stuff, and they all told me the same thing. They all said that watching Secrets replays, they just feel like they're better than everyone, and like they play faster and stuff. So
I felt
it
that
feels
way.
like it was a little bit of everyone just kind of talking it up a little bit. Like maybe everyone was just in each other's heads a little bit.
I think so. Totally. Yeah. It becomes like this web and you can't help but contribute to it because you're all caught up in it too. It gets murky, man. But I'm just excited for that to shift. And I don't know. We've spent so much time hyping up SA. I feel like I'm the boy that cried wolf a little bit. Like, no guys, seriously. Now they're really gonna come and show up. But
Yeah.
there's been a little more truth to that every like iteration, every cycle. I feel like SA is pumping just a little higher, and honestly, NA as well. We're getting to this point where like Quincy Crew and EG are very much contenders with each other, right? You could argue that maybe EG is still slightly the better team. They've got a better historical record or something, but they are very tight, very competitive. NA is no longer a region with just one powerhouse than everyone else less than. And that's awesome. Like it's awesome to see the Americas have some real competition within the space itself.
Let's go. Dude, I hope Quincy does really well. That'd be so hype if they actually got like top 3 or like 1, obviously. That'd be insane.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
I'm always cheering for Quincy.
are they guaranteed, let's say they get top 6, are they guaranteed sponsored for TI? Because their number is obviously huge. Because they've had some interest in stuff. But like honestly, if they get if they do really well, I would not be surprised if they get like the 100 Thieves sponsorship or some shit.
I'm trying to think about the right way to say this because I think they are actually like I think Jack has developed like Jack's a smart guy, right? He's smart because he learns quickly and he has been working in the Dota space and managing teams for a very long time. And I think he is astute in understanding that Quincy Crew has a lot of value. The team does not have to settle. Like they have a good foundation. They know what they need to do. So like they're not going to rush it, right? They're looking for the right team to partner with. They've gone through some iterations of these short-lived kind of partnerships. I have sort of heard some inklings that there has been some interest in that team and the numbers have not lined up. I've heard from the other side that they're too expensive. And I doubt that they are. I think they know how much they're worth and they refuse to settle. And relative to the rest of North America that isn't EG, they probably do come off as expensive, but I think they're holding out because they know what their value is. So I wouldn't necessarily look at a metric of Will they have somebody for TI? Maybe, maybe not. If the right partner comes around, maybe 100 Thieves is one such partner that has the cash to give them what they're worth. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think they're going to force it. And I don't think they need to force it. I think that's one of the things I love so much about Quincy Cruz. It doesn't feel like they're held back by being kind of a player-run org managed by Jack. It feels like they know how to leverage it. They've embraced it.
Exactly.
They've built a foundation around it. And now that is what's super valuable. And that's like,
why they're worth it.
dude, that's why I love this team, because they're not the kind, like, you know that they're solid. They might trade a player or two here or there. That's how Dota goes. But like, they've got a real solid foundation. Jack's been like living at SVG's house, like with his parents and stuff. Like they're on a level that isn't just, hey, we play Dota together. They have like a connection and an investment in each other. And I think really, really good team communication.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And to be clear, some brought out, like Bubble said in the chat, because I know this is a very common, probably a slight misconception amongst the general public, is that if they were to get a sponsor, I 99.99% sure they would not get a TI cut. Because you're right, it makes no sense. They're basically guaranteed for TI. There's a lot of orgs that don't take TI cut traditionally, or even prize pool cut, depending.
It really
Like,
varies. It really
Yeah,
varies.
your lower level ones probably do. Your top level ones probably don't. What would be good would be just like the branding, like seeing 100 Thieves, for example, in the Dota space. It gets them good eyes. It gets you cross-pollinating to their other games. That's the kind of thing that makes sense. Like, oh, look, we took this badass NA team. We're an NA org. Like, I think Melk works there too. I don't know. To me, it seems like the perfect fit if they're going to TI. I feel like that's like a super solid investment for a company that has a crazy amount of money.
I think you also have to think about like team negotiations as kind of a blank canvas, and you can set it up a lot of different ways. There's a ton of variance between trade-off of salary versus percentage cut from prize pools and stuff. Usually there's like a tiered system. Usually there's some sort of an exception for TI that has different percentages or whatever, because it's such a big amount of money potentially. You can also write in exceptions. You could say, hey, 100 Thieves, we're going to sign. We want to sign for 2 years. Future TIs and all other events, you'll get a percentage on some graduated scale. This TI, you get 0%.
Yeah, you could do something like that.
Or you could say, hey, you get part of TI and we want a big signing bonus because we're going to give you a percentage of this $40 million tournament we're about to play. And like all of it is leverageable in a ton of different ways. And it's you can never really say in a vacuum which way is best. If they want to give you $1 million signing bonus, who gives a shit about 10% of TI money or 20% of TI money? You know, it's all about trade-offs, man. And if you've got the power and a decent lawyer, you can basically negotiate whatever you want. Especially if you're poised to have a good run at TI. I mean, being like a top 4 or top 3 placing TI team is absurdly valuable. It's a dumb amount of free press, as
makes
they call
you cool.
it.
You're like,
It just makes you
It gives
cool,
you
man.
prestige, man. It's big prestige to do well in Dota. It's like, I don't know. It's like doing well at the yacht race. It's like, oh, wow. Didn't you hear about McKinnon on the weekend? Oh, yes. He came third at the club. You know, that's basically what these guys are after. I don't know. I mean, I get why NA orgs. Some are asking, like, why don't NA esports orgs invest in other games, but why not Dota? It's like, what is the Dota fan base? Like, it's not large in NA comparatively.
Yes. It's
It's
like
not a
hard to
good bang for your buck.
monetize. Up until very recently, it's been very chaotic, and there hasn't been enough structure for it to be like,
Okay.
you know.
Do you guys want to know why? I will give you a very, very clear case example, okay? Super Smash Brothers Melee, okay?
Okay.
Amazing game.
Yeah.
Amazing, very popular in North America. The home base of the game is in North America. The Golden Guardians, which is the esports arm of the NBA team, the Warriors, has invested very minimal comparatively to other esports, and essentially is now the coolest org in Melee in under a year. They're now considered like these gods of Melee. They put a $50,000 grassroots fund together, and everyone went crazy. They're like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like, oh, we're helping sponsor a calendar for Melee. We're giving prize pools to tournaments. We signed this commentator and this player and that player and this player. And everyone's like, oh, the total cost of doing that and the relative like gain that you get is so ridiculously valued compared to Dota. It's gross. Like, it's disgusting. You can hold a 15-person invitational for like 20,000 and fly literally just 15 people, not 15 teams of 5.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing. Think about how cheap that is, guys. It's
That's-
like it's oh God.
So you've got to remember too.
It makes me wonder why anyone even does not invest.
Well, that is a really good point. And there's also the other side of the coin where esports is really different depending on where you're looking at in the globe. And North America specifically has a really high opportunity cost for these like big leagues that have the illusion of a lot of structure, like the Call of Duty League, LCS, the Overwatch.
League,
That's
don't
it. Yeah.
forget.
Overwatch. That's
Papa
what I was
League, come
bumbling
on,
to
buddy.
say. Those are like three big ones, right? And even though us esports people can look at those and go, I think the Call of Duty League is pretty solid. But you can look at Overwatch and go, this isn't worth it. This is kind of a bubble. This is not worth the money. This is crazy. Who is this for? There's even people like DJ Wheat working at Twitch are like, hey, we paid a lot of money for that, but I don't know if it was worth it. Like these should all be red flags and warning signs we should listen to. But I think it's important to remember, like, from where the money comes from. Those people love the illusion, like they love structure, and the illusion of it is very comforting. So if Blizzard can say, like, look, we got this big league and the franchise and all this shit, it's all very familiar to these rich people that own traditional sports teams, and it feels like a safer investment to them, even if it fails relative to something like Dota, because they know they don't know how to navigate the space. Exactly. And they don't know how to find the people like us that do know how to navigate the space. And they don't know how to vet us from all the other yahoos on LinkedIn that say, I know how to navigate the space. So the end result is it's really, really fucking hard. And they'll follow the path of least resistance if they want to play into esports. And that is Blizzard going to them on a really high level kind of B2B sort of connection, business to business, and give them this big contract and go, just sign right here, right? It's one big fat check for 20 mil. We're going to be golden. We're going to do this. Here's LeBron James. He's doing a dunk. You're owning a team. We're fucking slaying it. And then, 3 years later, the pyramid scheme falls apart. They take a whole bunch of money from YouTube and go, look at these fat returns. Everybody loves us. We're on YouTube. And all the old rich white guys that own teams go, YouTube? Google owns that. All right, yeah. And then the fucking cycle churns, man. The shit just swims downstream and everyone keeps drinking it. So, like, we all see the writing on the wall, but that mechanism I just described is why NA orgs don't invest in Dota. The money just likes that. Blizzard's smart. They know how to play to the audience, man. They know how to read the room.
They're geniuses about making money.
Yeah.
You can't fault them on that. I've hated the Overwatch League since its inception in terms of like how they funded and stuff, and how they literally made a game to be an esport after it didn't become an MMO. Like, what were you guys doing? Oh, God. Jeez. Crafting a game to be an esport is just the stupidest thing.
You can't. You need a foundation. And then you build on the foundation. But that
I was just about to bring that up, Dakota. I was just about to say that. Dude. It wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't shit on Overwatch at some point. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you heard the news, but Overwatch 2 is going to be 5v5. Whoa. I don't know why, but apparently it's because of the tank. They're eliminating a tank. And I have not kept up with Overwatch. Actually, that's not true. I have kept up with Overwatch fairly. I'm on the periphery. I don't play.
Game changer.
It was a fun game to play, but apparently no one likes playing tank. So it's just like every other game that's ever been invented. Wow. No one likes it. And
no one likes standing there and not getting big numbers and just getting pummeled and going, hey, guys, I didn't die. Yeah. I did my job. Yeah, it's really not that fun.
And instead of just making your tanks fun to play so that more people want to play it, they instead decide, no, it's impossible. No one wants to play tank in any game, even though we make all the games with the tanks. So clearly it's not our fault. It must be the tank's fault. So we'll just get rid of one of the tanks. So now it's going to be 5v5 to apparently reduce the clutter of the game and help matchmaking because no one plays tank now.
Reduce clutter by adding 2 more characters with explosive particle effects into the competitive meta. That sounds totally reasonable. This is exactly what they did in StarCraft. They were like, hey, StarCraft 1, people are using these global chat channels to talk about sex and do weird cyber kinky stuff. What if we just remove chat channels completely? All right, let's do it. People can use other things like Skype. Let's just remove them. That's like the Blizzard fix for everything. Like, nobody likes tags. Why would we just remove them? All right. And then that's it. And then it's just like, God, the game design is just so... they're so good at marketing bullshit, dude. Like, when you hear them talk about it, it almost sounds convincing. And then you realize, wait, does this actually change anything? No,
and
it
their
doesn't.
big dog's gone. Jeff Kaplan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're
the
right.
head man. He is. I don't know if he's moved on or retired. Has he retired from Blizzard? Was that the news? I can't even remember at this point. It was so long ago.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But he's off the Overwatch team.
I think
which
it
is
was
pretty
ambiguous.
crazy.
I don't think he used the word retired, but I don't think there was any follow-up announcement.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I keep seeing these Blizzard studios are all getting together. All these ex Blizzard devs. Everyone who's essentially left, like the old Blizzard guard, is now a part of several different studios. There's Dreamhaven, there's Frost Giant, and now Frost Giant and Dreamhaven have now joined together. So literally, they're just slowly forming old Blizzard as
Dude.
one.
All right, that's actually a badass power move.
Yeah.
I'm not really optimistic, but I'm excited to see where that goes.
They're working on some RTS game.
Yeah, I think a lot of these Blizzard spin-offs have haven't there been a couple in the past? It's just so hard to produce games these days that compete with that economy of scale that World of Warcraft has, because people have so much sunk cost in the game. It doesn't really matter. Like, your game has to be so much better to pull people away from that it has to be like the next generation of good.
Yeah,
And
what
that's a
has done
big
that
ask.
recently? Speaking of that,
I guess Final Fantasy. I've heard a lot of people say that in the MMO
true.
genre, it's very, very
in terms
good.
of MMOs, yes. I guess I mean yeah, that's true. I was thinking more like game, like branch wise. I guess like Warzone stuff, like the whole battle royale was the last giant craze. Have we had a craze? We had the
auto
what do you
chess,
call it?
the auto
chess.
battler.
Yeah,
I guess.
that was.
What's the League of Legends one of that called? I think that's still going okay. It's
TFT.
kind of like a mini.
I think
game.
it's going
Yeah,
well. I think they have
TFT.
a lot of stuff for that.
Dude, I mean, when I did that Zyori +1 with Envy, he talked about it a lot, and he said that it's a surprisingly good game. He's like, I got number one, so he described it as a little too easy, but he said like that generally it's like well designed and worth playing and stuff. So I think Riot did a good job taking that concept and refining it.
I read something the other day that a year ago they Riot didn't even have another game, which is kind of crazy to think. It's like a year and a half ago or whatever.
Wow.
Now they have, of course, TFT. Now they have Valorant. They're working on their fighting game, and they're working on something else too. I can't remember. But they have a lot of stuff happening. It's kind of insane. I am definitely looking forward to their fighting game. I'm not going to lie.
It does seem like Valorant is kind of doing it. Any regrets there, bud? You could have made the switch. You could be a Valorant caster. You could have joined Suns fan.
Nah.
You
I
think
mean,
is Suns fan?
I don't think casts it. I think he just plays it.
Is he
Nikki
done?
casts some of it.
Oh
See that?
yeah, I saw that on Twitter. She was casting the is it I forget what the name of it is. The Women's League. There's an official Valorant Women's League. Forget what it's officially called. It's pretty cool though.
Is it Galorants or is that her group? I can't remember.
Galorants are the group that help operate it, but I think the
Yes, that's
league
right, yeah.
they kind of like did a proof of concept thing, and then they leveraged that to partner with Riot to like get it officially endorsed and make like the official league for female only teams
Wow.
or women only
Dude.
teams.
He has 103,000 viewers right now watching the Valorant tournament on Shroud, by the way.
Oh,
I mean, that's what I would watch it on too, honestly.
you know, casual 100K for one person.
Damn.
That's cool.
That's
It seems like the game's going pretty well though. I see Golden Boy tweet about it a lot and stuff. You know, we all thought it would do decently well. I think it's Riot. They know how to market games. They know how to
Oh yeah, dude.
refine stuff and make it look good and attract an audience.
Yes, that's what they're best at, you know.
Yeah, it's a fun
they know
game.
how
I
to,
don't dislike it. But I don't love it either. I'm not a big FPS guy. You know, playing it really just makes me want to play CS:GO. I'm not gonna lie. I still get that vibe a little bit, but it's an okay game. I got nothing against
I
it.
haven't played it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't really have an interest in shooters anymore.
it's better than Overwatch, Trent. It's better than
Yeah.
Overwatch.
I'll play any game that friends want to play, though. If my friends were like, yo, no, I want to play Valorant tonight. Download Valorant. I'd be like, okay, sure, whatever. You know, gaming to
Now-
me is more about that aspect.
Buddy, let me tell you what I'm really excited for, and you're not going to like this. You know, World of
Wild Rift was
Warcraft.
the other one. Thank you.
Dude, World of Warcraft Classic, The Burning
PvC.
Crusade. It comes
Yes.
out on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I think.
What's that, the first?
I
Yeah, the first?
I think that's the second. Is Monday the first? I don't know.
No, Monday's the
anything.
31st. Tuesday's... Oh, wait, Wednesday's the second. Sorry.
When-
Yeah, Wednesday's the second.
Yeah,
Tuesday's
so it
the
is
first.
Tuesday's the first. So I believe it drops on the first or the second. I've lost track. But Carlo's brother, my roommate, he's flying out. We're gonna set up the little LAN center in the living room and have a little
Oh,
3-man
shit.
squad. I'm gonna play a
pretty hype.
hunter. They have a thing where you can buy a character that's level 58 in preparation. So I'm gonna do so because it's like you know,
Oh, because it's just an expansion.
it's the
Yeah, okay.
expansion. So there's this weird sort of like. So as an example, I played a priest in Classic, and I don't really care about continuing that character. So I'm just gonna buy a fresh level 58 hunter and just have some fun
Right.
and play TBC. And it's like it's basically a private server anyway. Like I don't give a shit about achievements or like the completion of the
Yeah.
character. I'm just playing to have fun with my buds.
You've
But
done it before.
I'm excited. I'm ready, dude. I haven't really ever played a hunter, so I'm excited about that. TBC. This is the sweet spot for me, Trent. All right. I always loved Classic, but I had played Classic on a number of private servers. I grinded to 60 a few times since the original vanilla experience. So since it was relaunched, like, it was cool. We had a lot of fun, but whatever. Been there, done that. TBC, I think, is peak WoW. It's the closest thing we've got to vanilla before they really started fucking the game up, but with a lot of enhancements, some really cool content, the 10-man raids, Karazhan's fucking badass. They extended the talent. It's just like, it was peak World of Warcraft for me. Well, all right, maybe Lich King was.
I've seen a lot of people say they're taking time off.
Dude,
to play.
it's just it was a really, really well done game. It's like vanilla with enhancements, and then after that they started kind of straying from the original image and getting more into the dailies and the multi-server queues and all that kind of stuff. TBC still had some of that server identity vibe. So and I never
server,
replayed it on
right.
a private server. So this will be my first time replaying it since we did it originally when it launched way back in the day when we first walked through the Dark Portal. I'm like, dude, I'm nostalgic as fuck. I'm not even like, I'm a little sad I'm giving more money to Blizzard, but this one is like the nostalgia levels are like 11 out of 10, dude. I'm busting right now. It's going to be so fun. Carlo's been talking about it for months. Literally. Dude, his brother's flying out, all right? We're planning the land. We're bringing it back.
Damn, that's crazy. I'm glad. That's gonna be really hype. I look for it. I hope there's a stream. I will
think
watch
so.
the stream.
I think we're going to
All
stream
right.
some of it. And well, so here's the other thing. It's fucking classic. So like you can play it on the ultra wide. It runs on my MacBook at like 300 frames. Like it's fine.
yeah,
It's an
true,
old ass
true.
game, you know? So
Yeah.
like I'm going to stream some. I'm going to play some on the go. It's going to be cool. I don't know how hard we're going to go, like how deep we're going to go with rating, but I'm excited to play the launch and do some PvP and like arenas launched in TBC. So like original arenas.
Wait, they haven't had arenas yet?
yeah,
You guys
there's
been playing this classic without arenas?
yeah, there's no arenas in vanilla.
Oh, I didn't
in
know
like
that.
classic vanilla. Yeah.
Dude,
It's just
I
battlegrounds
remember
and stuff. Yeah.
that's
Arenas
probably
are
one of
fun.
the first PvP experiences I ever had was at a friend's house, and he showed me what the arena was. And I played his were they called Tinks? Is that what it's called?
Twinks.
Twinks. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yes, I played his Twink. His Twink something. It was a rogue. And he showed me what the
Oh.
buttons did. And I went and I was
dude.
like, this is stupid easy. Because
Oh,
of course
yeah.
it was literally designed because they had a level cap, right? And so you only had that character to play that level.
You play
of
in
arena or
9
whatever.
level chunks. So yeah, you get to level
Yeah.
usually 39 is like peak twink because it's right before you get like all these breakpoints and stuff. So you get to level 39, you stop leveling the character and you like farm dungeons to level up so you get all the best broken items and you
Yes.
do like a crazy amount of damage and like half the people in the battlegrounds.
It was like smurfing.
Yeah, well, like because like maybe 2/3
Kind
of
of.
the people in the battlegrounds aren't twinks. They're just like, "Hi, I'm level
Yeah, so you're just
35, and
better.
I just wanted a PvP badge." And you just like 3-shot him. You just crit him in the
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
and he's like, "Ah!" It's great, dude.
Yeah, it was good, dude.
Carlo played a 39 twink hunter named Swoo Swoo for a while. Swoo Swoo, the Night Elf Hunter. There's like a bow that you could buy that was level 39, and it had like the bow of searing arrows or something, and it would proc fire damage that did way too much damage
good.
for level 39 battlegrounds. There were some really broken breakpoints, man. Fucking awesome. So
I
fun.
love shitty old games. So
He has
much.
spent hundreds of hours playing on his twink, just annihilating people in battlegrounds because it's objectively so fun. You're just ruining
It is.
people's
It literally
day.
is just really fun. it
then-
actually is what Smurfing must feel like.
And what it's fun too is because you meet other twinks, and when you kill a twink, it's also
then
really
it's hype.
satisfying because you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I fucked that guy up, and he's actually good." Yeah, it's dude.
You guys are in for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I,
So yeah, I've been resetting a little bit. I'm excited to actually I'm gonna play Dota today, dude. I'm gonna actually play some games. I have played like 3 Dota games over the entire DPC season. So all right, maybe like 6 games, 6 weeks. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I haven't played since DPC. It's brutal with the boys.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I think I'm gonna hop into some solo queue. Play a little
Good,
Crystal
good.
Maiden. Play a little Witch Doctor.
What
dude.
am I waiting on? I'm waiting on Strive on the 11th.
Yeah.
I'll stream some Guilty Gear for you guys. It'll be great. After the major, see how bad I am. It'll be fun. And then Super Mario Golf comes out the 25th, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I love those golf games.
How
They
expensive
kill
is
me.
it?
Oh, it's gonna be full price, dude. It's a Nintendo game. It'll be like $80 or whatever. The huge.
I mean,
dude, it's
Mario
so much
Golf
fun.
is fun. I
It's so much fun. I can't wait.
It's
gonna
one
be
of our
so
guilty
amazing.
pleasures when we pop in the Nintendo or the old N64, and it's just
Hell
like
yeah,
the
dude.
Mario Golf.
Getting some beers, playing golf with the boys. It's got online, so while we play, you can play as King Bob-omb. It doesn't get any better. Literally,
So
the
you're
best
telling
possible
me
character.
you're telling me that we can play golf on the Switch. I can watch movies on the couch and just kick back and be like, "Yo, Trent, you want to
Yeah,
play
dude,
8
we're
holes?"
playing golf,
And I
Yeah,
can
we're
just
playing some golf.
play Bowser and just fucking clonk it. Oh, dude, you know I'm a Bowser bitch through and through, so I'm ready.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
It's gonna be 10
my
out of 10.
God.
I can't believe they put in fucking King Bob-omb. It's gonna be so good.
Dude, that actually sounds. God, I hate Nintendo so much, dude. I hate
I
that they
know.
make me want to buy their stuff. I almost sold all my Nintendo stock to buy crypto, and I held on to it because I kept thinking about Pokemon Snap, and I was like, man, they got so many of these things in the bag. They're just going to keep
Dude.
printing money. I can't sell this stock. I know crypto's going to print money, but Nintendo's like printing money without the dips, man. You know, like they've got a real formula, and
They're at a 5-year high today. Look at you.
I believe it. Yeah, there you go. I sold a couple shares. I sold like 20% of my Nintendo lot, but
Oh wow.
I got NVIDIA though,
Sorry,
bud.
right before the dip.
Yep. I hope you got AMD and NVIDIA because they are popping off. The pro tip: the graphic card hype will probably die down in the next year or so. So you can buy graphics cards again soon. TM.
Yay.
Not yet, but it's around the corner. NVIDIA is still very upset, but they're making record profits, so it's a weird balancing act for them. Our consumers hate us, but we're making more money than ever before. That's what their earnings report sounds like. That's the TLDR. It's like you don't know whether to feel bad for them or to be happy for them because it's sort of like it's destroying their
insane.
brand, but they're like, I think, record high profits. Is their stock pumping
Yeah.
to highs too? I think it was.
It is actually a 5-year high. Nintendo was like just a little bit off its peak of like a couple months ago, but literally they're at all-time high right now on Nvidia.
I think
So,
they
there
just
you go.
posted earnings. Yeah. Yeah.
Yup.
It's financial stuff relative to gamers. You know, look at that. NVIDIA, it's big. Shout out to Pitmuckle on the AMD tip, though. I'm up like almost 80% on AMD. He sniped that one.
Yeah, that's true. He told everyone.
He really did. He was like unapologetic about like, guys, AMD, I'm
Literally,
telling you,
just makes sense.
look at the technology. It's undervalued. Intel sucks. This is a steal.
Okay,
And I went in.
Let me just say, if you want to buy a laptop now, is all okay. Well, actually, talk to JJ first. But it's crazy how much more expensive it is for Intel. I had to buy one for my wife because she's starting teaching and she needed one for school. And then I looking at the laptops, I'm like, you're telling me that I have to pay like $900 if I just want Intel, or I can get a better AMD chip for $900 less?
Dude.
Like, they literally become the Apple of like, you're literally
Dude.
just buying the Intel on the side.
Intel became so much the Apple of processors that even Apple was like, yo, fuck you guys. We're making our own processors.
Yeah, like actually.
Like think about that for a second. I mean, it's Apple, so they have the power to do it. And apparently the Apple M1 chips are actually pretty good. But yeah, Intel is just, they keep increasing prices and reducing their innovation output. And AMD is just like continuing to build cool shit in that
We're
intersection.
catching
It's like,
up, guys.
all right, so our thing is better and cheaper, and yours is worse and more expensive. And they're like, yeah, but we got all these legacy contracts locked in. It's pretty awesome. People just keep buying our shit no matter how much we charge for it. We're locked in, dude. It's like, yeah, IBM was locked in too. Nobody uses those anymore.
Whom?
What? Hewlett who? A Packard? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm gonna dive into some pubs.
Yes, go.
That was awesome.
I go see my children.
Yeah, appreciate the podcast. We'll get another one in at some maybe like post major or something. Major starts in
Yes.
what, 4 days? I think Wednesday is day one. Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. So yeah, enjoy the beginning of June. Have a nice summer, everybody. Go find that warm weather. Get vaccinated. I got my first poke. Get
Same.
yours. Ooh, you got your first?
Oh yeah, I got mine the day we finished.
Dude, gratties.
The
Holy
earliest one I could
shit.
get.
Look
Yep,
at you.
yep,
All
yep.
right. Big stuff. There you go. So you guys know where to find it. The YouTube, everywhere else, Zyori.tv. Much love. Going to run an ad, and then we'll see you over at my Twitch. Bye-bye.
Bye.